Hey guys, it's Sanjay. Now when it comes to web design, people find it really difficult. So if you're just like me, if you're working on an application, you don't want to focus on the web design aspect of it a lot, so this video is just for you. Now basically, if you're building an Android application with a lot of backend, and basically you want that application to be useful and accessible by the people in this age, you want it to be looking at least design. So that's what I'm going to be helping you with. We're going to be focusing on three main things you should know if you're really interested in improving your design skills. So let's get started. Also, everything I mentioned, all the 3 points, the timestamps will be linked in the description. So if you want to go to specific timestamps, you could go there. Number one thing is fonts. Font selection is really hard. So I put together a list that could help you in order to improve your selection of fonts. I'm going to be going through all the lists. I'm not going to be going to all specifics of them. I'll leave a link to all of the stuff I mentioned in the description down below. So the first font website that I actually chose is called Use and Modify. Basically what they want you to do is select any font that you like. They have a whole library of selection of fonts that you could actually put your text in, any text that you want. Maybe it be a text that is bold and you want it to be a heading text, or text that is a paragraph, or text that is in a button with a specific color as a background. Anything you want, from like a size selection or from a dark to a light thing, anything you want, you can do it in the usemodify.com. That's a website. I'll leave it in the description down below. So you could use that in order to kind of modify and see how it would look just before you put it on your design. Let it be application design or poster design or anything. That's the first website. Some other ones that I would choose if I was working on a web design would be Font Fabric, Font Squirrel, and also Font Pair, which are some of the main things that you could use. Font Pair is one of the good tools actually. So you could use those stuff in order to improve your font selection, which I'll leave in the description down below. But if you want me to make a video on how to select fonts and stuff, let me know in the comments. So the second aspect of actual design is colors, matching the contrast of it, matching the brightness of how the colors will look in specific backgrounds. I've been hearing when I wanted to learn website during this quarantine time, I watched a lot of people say contrast is important, brightness is important, but how do you actually go about using those contrast stuff? I actually got some good examples, but if I see those valuable, I'll leave them in the description below. Stuff like videos from Jesse Showalter and stuff like that. Those videos are really informative, but some people are there, but they say that contrast is important, like brightness is important, but they don't show you how important it is in real life, like implementing those web designs. So I'll be going over some of the lists of websites that you could use. Tools, these are just tools, okay? You could use this stuff in order to build your tools in order to build your websites. These are not the stuff that you should be focused on in order to build it, not dependent on. Okay, so the first one is called Coolors. I think CWLORS. I've been using this for quite a lot of time. I'm sure a lot of people are using it. I'm sure you are using it if you're kind of an intermediate or beginner like me. So this actually shows you all the, I think default it starts from 4 or 5. It shows you a random selection of colors that actually match. So they don't actually randomly select any colors just from a automator or something, but they actually see if those colors actually match. So you could click on the spacebar in order to generate random colors, and you could actually copy them or lock them in order to get more variations of those colors. That's really helpful. You could also copy it and also use it. You could log in, you could save all the color palettes, you could also export those color palettes. There's a lot of things you could do in Coolors, I think. That's important. And some of the other tools that I also found helpful is Adobe Trends. Obviously, Creative Program Manager kind of, it provides all the stuff that you need as a creator. So they actually provide you all the trends, all the trendy colors and all those stuff, color patterns that people have been using. So you could use that in order to put it in your web design. Google Material Color Palette or something, I guess. I'm not sure with that, but I'll leave all the stuff in the description down below. And that's colors. So number 3 is UI graphics. Now as you guys might have saw in Dribble or Behance, if you're a designer and you just go or browse through all the stuff in those websites, you obviously would see a lot of animation characters, animations, illustration, all those kind of stuff. When I was starting out, I didn't know where to go and get it, and I saw this repository of a lot of websites websites in there, so I just want to share with you a couple of them. One is undraw.co, which is an awesome repository of websites. What also Manypixels, Drawkit, and those are the three main picks that I would go for when you're selecting illustrations. I'm not that much of an expert in design, so I cannot. I'm not kind of sure if like these stuff might help you, but if you're going for a kind of a cartoonistic look, you could take a look at illustrations and UI graphics. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is, guys, some of the basic stuff. If you're just getting started, I actually thought right now, if I want to actually listen to this video, what is the main part that I would look out for? So the main part, web design, let's look into it. CSS animations, JavaScript animations, CSS frameworks. Some of the CSS frameworks that are trending and I would recommend if you're looking for my recommendation. One is Semantic UI, Tailwind CSS, Bootstrap, Materialize. Those are the four main ones. CSS animations, not much sure with it, but I'll just leave a repository, Traverse Media's repository of all this stuff in the description. So you could go check him out, fork him, help him out. And also lastly, other people are doing a design, they just start off and they want to post it in other platforms. They see other designs and they are just demotivated with how their design has done. So it's very important that you look into basic design inspirations before you do get started, in your web design or Android application design or any design basically. So if you look into inspirations, you can actually get some idea from it, implement it in your design. You just don't know that if you put in your inspired web design, you could actually think like this does not look good. You could actually put some touch to it. You could put your touch to it. You could become creative with it, and you could make it look a whole new other level, a whole different, perfect. So inspiration is a huge thing that plays in design. As the person said, it's a quote. You cannot teach a person, you can only inspire him. So inspiration, you can get it and you could just put it in your website, it'll look best. So that's about I have for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did not post for a while, but hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new, leave a like on this video please. If you actually enjoyed this video, please leave a like. I'll see you in the next video.